Okay, now the stain's dried, I'm going to just clean up the bearing edges. Then I need to start looking at putting the first coat of lacquer on. So here's the inside of the shell finished. Bearing edges much cleaner now and ready for some lacquer. Unfortunately got a couple of runs in here. I'll cut them off, sand it back and then flatten the whole thing and give it another coat. It's a bit orange peely at the minute, you can see there. But the actual depth of the colour is beautiful. So I've just flattened off the first coat and get ready for another blast of lacquer. The second coat really looks amazing. We're getting somewhere now. So that's now flattened off, ready for his third and final coat. Right, that's had 3 coats of lacquer now, and it looks really, really deep. The finish is good. I think the colour, it sort of works, but it's a bit darker than the original. But I'm in too deep now, so I'm going to carry on going. The next job is to lightly sand it down. I'll use 1500 wet and dry. Then I'll work my way up to 3000, and then we'll give it a final polish and assemble it. So I've just flattened that off with 1500, and it needed very little. The surface was already so flat. But what it does is, if you look here, if I can catch this in the right light, I think the camera's going to block it. But no, you can see there, you see that line? And you can just see the little flecks in it. You see, like there's one there, look, you see that? It'll just smooth all that out. But that line of light is very good. But just from flattening it off that little bit, we'll get rid of all them flecks. This is an AS2 shell. If you look at the paint on this, look, you see the light there? And it just is like no distortion at all in the finish. It needs a clean, but you can see the light there, how clear that is. And that's why I rub it down and polish it afterwards. And finally the 3000. So I'm just making a start with a scratch remover. I've just done this panel, one hit, and the shine's already starting to come back. This is what it did look like. So I reckon a few coats of that and that'll come up lovely. So that's now polished, and if you look in the light, now I've got a dead straight line with no flecks in it. So all I've got to do now is clean out the polish from the holes, finish cleaning up the bearing edges, clean the inside, then I can start looking at putting it back together. Next job is just to remove the lacquer on the bearing edges. Tiny drop of oil on the bearing edge to protect it. Okay, just a final dust off and then we can start assembling the drum. Oh, get in there, you beauty. Look at that. Oh, I'm so happy with that. Okay, we've reached the exciting part. All my bits are ready. There's a bit of cleaning up to do on some of these rods, and the dampener needs a bit of a clean up. You can see there's a bit of corrosion on there, so I'll sort that out and I can do the rods as I go. I've whipped it apart. It's always good to check these because these can crack. But, I mean, it's not the end of the world now because they're so easy to 3D print. Okay, we'll start with the lugs. I have 3D printed gaskets like I did with the shark tooth as well. They're absolutely beautiful. I'm so happy with that. It looks incredible. Right, let's get the rest of them on. Look how tough it looks with the lugs on now. And the inside looks amazing. So that's gone in nicely. That's retracted. Open it up and then that will dampen the head. You can see there, look. Off, on. The only snare head choice. I'm going to give some of these a go. I've also made TPU gaskets for all the other bits of hardware as well, not just the lugs. So with the new strainer, I'm not a fan of these new fixings. They've got these crown washers on them, and I think that'll really damage the interior. So I need to come up with something different. But they're M4, whereas the older ones had an I think it's an M5 in it. They're a bigger thread, so I need to think on that. I've decided I'll use the Grand Star style of screw instead. I also made a gasket for the rollers as well. Ah, that's a problem. Grand Star screws won't work, and that's why they use the ones with the skinnier washers, I guess. Damn it. Right, plan B. I found some nice M4 stainless screws, and I've got some Form B washers, I think, and some springs as well, so I'll use them. And what I really like about the gaskets, they actually force the gap in here. Sometimes this can touch there and can create a buzz. That actually keeps the gap out of the way, so that's a nice win, that. Okay, I hope you guys enjoyed that very dramatic montage there. So the snare drum's finished. I'm sure you'll agree it looks a lot better than what it did when I first got it. The finish really is amazing. I'm so happy with it. I mean, the only downside is a little bit darker than what I originally wanted, but I think it would still match the kit really well. Originally I was going to go for the rattle can, the 1K lacquer finish, but in the end I went for a 2-pack, so the 2K stuff, which was really good to learn, and I'm sure I'll be using it on projects going forward. So another day, another learning curve. So what I want to do next, I'll do a separate video. I'm going to tune it up and I'm going to put it on a kit, and I've got a gig in a couple of weeks actually, so I'm going to play it on that. So I'll get a load of pictures and get a load of sound clips to the gig so you can hear it. But for now, we'll move on to the next project. Thanks for watching.